Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome to Nanyacim. If this is your first time of coming across this channel, sweetheart, kindly smash the subscribe button, turn on the notification so you get notified each time I upload, and please give this video a thumb up. I appreciate you all, and I want to say a very big thank you to every one of you for always coming back to watch my videos and subscribing. You all are the very best. So today we'll be talking about a white man who said that racism is killing Black Americans. And he went further to say that America is designed to unfavor Black Americans. And he also talked about Black incarcerations and how Black people are going through a lot, but and also how they do not get adequate health care. And so you know what? Stay glued to the screen. Do not click away. Let me roll the clip so we all will see what he got to say, and we'll come back to talk about it. And you know what? Feel free to let me know what you all think in the comment section. So let's get into this video.
How many times have you heard someone say, if you do the crime, you should do the time? It's not that simple when it comes to the mass incarceration of Black men in America. Did you know that Black men are disproportionately represented in the American prison system? Despite making up just 6% of the United States population, they account for 40% of the prison population. This is the result of a number of factors, including systemic racism in the criminal justice system, harsh sentencing laws, and the war on drugs. Many Black men are arrested and imprisoned for nonviolent drug offenses, while white people who commit similar crimes often receive lighter sentences or avoid prison altogether. And once a Black man is incarcerated, it's much harder for him to break the cycle of poverty and crime. He may face difficulty finding a job or housing. After release, he may struggle to reintegrate into society. These are all issues of systemic racism in America. This not only impacts the individual, but also their families and communities. Children of incarcerated parents are more likely to experience poverty and negative outcomes later in life. So what can we do to address this issue? Well, first of all, we can support organizations working to reform the criminal justice system. We can advocate for policy changes and raise awareness about the impact of mass incarceration on Black men and their families. Let's work together to create a more just and equitable society for all. Thanks for watching, and as always, if you enjoy the content, give me a follow.
So I am sure Black people know this. Like, it is not new to them. And if there is where we need advocates, we need him to also create awareness in his own community, because their community are the problems. So more awareness should be created in their own community so they know and understand what Black people are going through. Anyways, let's continue, because he went further to say a lot of things, and here we go.
Let's talk about being sick and Black in America. Let's talk about how we can integrate anti-racist policies into healthcare. Healthcare is a human right, and everyone, regardless of their race or ethnicity, should be treated fairly. But unfortunately, systemic racism can contribute to health disparities and even harm patients. So how can we address these issues and make healthcare more anti-racist? One way is to start by acknowledging that racism exists in the healthcare system. This means recognizing that people of color may face discrimination, bias, and unequal treatment when seeking care. From there, we can begin to identify and address the root causes of these disparities. This might involve looking at the ways that policies and practices within the healthcare system contribute to inequities, such as inadequate staffing, lack of cultural competence, or insufficient resources in certain communities. Another key aspect of integrating anti-racism into healthcare policies is improving data collection and analysis. This means collecting data on race and ethnicity in healthcare settings and using this information to identify disparities and target interventions where they are most needed. We can also work to increase diversity in the healthcare workforce. This means recruiting and retaining more people of color in healthcare professions and providing them with the support and the resources that they need. We can ensure that patients have a voice in their own care. This means involving patients and their families in decisions about treatment and recognizing that they can be experts as well on their own experiences. It's up to all of us to work towards a more equitable and just healthcare system. Thanks for watching. If you benefit from the content, give me a follow. Today I want to talk about an important issue that is facing Black Americans: weathering. Weathering refers to the negative effects of chronic stress on the body, which can lead to premature aging and other health problems. Research has shown that Black Americans are more likely to experience weathering. This is because of the constant stress of racism, discrimination, and socioeconomic disadvantages that take a toll on the body. It can lead to high stress levels and stress hormones like cortisol, which can cause inflammation, high blood pressure, and other health problems over time. In fact, studies have found that Black Americans often have shorter life expectancies than white Americans, and weathering may be one of the reasons why. So what can we do to combat weathering? It's important to address the root causes of stress and discrimination, but there are also steps that we can take to support our physical and mental health. First of all, make sure that you're taking care of yourself. This means getting enough sleep, eating a healthy diet, and exercising on a regular basis. Sadly, racism makes access to these resources more difficult for Black Americans, but these things can help reduce stress and support overall health. Second, make time for self-care and relaxation. This can be anything from meditation to yoga to reading a book or taking a hot bath. Whatever helps you relax and de-stress, make sure you prioritize it. Third, seek support from your community. Having a strong support system can help buffer the effects of stress and discrimination. Reach out to family, friends, or community organizations that can offer support and understanding. Finally, speak out against racism, discrimination, and other forms that attack Black bodies. Advocate for change. Whether it's protesting, voting, or simply having conversations with friends and family, we all have a role to play in creating a more just and equitable society. Remember, weathering is a serious issue, but by taking care of ourselves and each other, treat Black people better, we can work towards a healthier future. If you like the content, be sure and give me a follow. Thank you.
Yes, like I keep saying, his content are amazing. I love the fact that he is speaking up for Black Americans. And at the same time, this awareness, they are the one that needs this awareness more. So they should go among themselves. If it means going door to door to enlighten them, to explain to them, to make them understand the evil of racism, I think that is it's a very nice start. So this awareness, they need it more than any other person. Let's keep going.
I'm often asked the question, why do you care about injustices perpetuated against Black people in America? And why do you speak and write about these issues so frequently? My answer is that we would all do well to care about what happens to our fellow citizens, because what happens to one impacts the lives of all of us eventually. Certainly, Black people don't need me to address these issues, as there are far more competent leaders and voices within the Black community that do a far better job. But I need to speak up for my own sake. I need to speak up and continue to address the residual racism that hinders my heart from the compassion and empathy that is necessary in our world. If the United States of America is my home, which it is, and I love my nation, then I know that we can all do better in understanding one another. To this end, I continue to write and speak out about these issues. Racism and discrimination are deeply ingrained issues in America, and the mistreatment of Black people is a critical issue that needs to be addressed by everyone, not just Black individuals or communities. It is imperative for white people to care about the mistreatment of Black people in America for several reasons. First of all, recognizing the mistreatment of Black people is a fundamental step towards combating racism and creating a more equitable and just society. Racism and discrimination have a profound impact on the lives of Black individuals, causing them to experience numerous disadvantages, including lower economic opportunities, unequal treatment in the criminal justice system, and reduced access to quality health care. By acknowledging the existence of these disparities and the systemic factors that contribute to them, white people can help to create the conditions necessary to dismantle racism and discrimination. Addressing the mistreatment of Black people is not only a moral obligation, but a civic responsibility. As citizens, it is our responsibility to work towards creating a society that is equitable, just, and inclusive. This requires recognizing and combating the systemic factors that contribute to the mistreatment of Black people. By ignoring this issue, white people are not fulfilling their civic responsibilities and are perpetuating the harm that is inflicted on Black individuals. As we have witnessed with the murder of George Floyd and most recently the beating death of Tyree Nichols, the mistreatment of Black people impacts all members of society regardless of race. Racism and discrimination undermine the fabric of society by dividing communities and promoting mistrust and hatred. When Black individuals are mistreated, it creates an environment in which fear, mistrust, and hatred can flourish, eroding the social cohesion that is necessary for a healthy and thriving society. This has an impact on everyone, regardless of race. The mistreatment of Black people is an issue that has deep roots in American society. From slavery to segregation and the ongoing impact of systemic racism, the mistreatment of Black people is not a new issue. By acknowledging the history of racism and discrimination in America, white people can understand the root causes of these current disparities experienced by Black people and take the necessary steps to address them. This is why I speak up. Won't you join me?
Yeah, I hope, we have more people. People like him that can come out also to be a voice to Black Americans, to Black people. And also, this awareness is something that needs to be created more in their own community, because most of them do not want to acknowledge all of this. Anyway, this is where I'm going to call it a day. Let me know what you all think in the comment section, and see you all in my next video. Bye for now.